Go on down to the floor. Say 1, 2, 3, floor. Getting the spice.
Oh.
La 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 la.
We practiced that. How life. Hopefully everybody's doing great.
Yeah. How y'all doing out there?
Sorry for the craziness in the beginning.
Yeah, sorry about. I excuse her. Please, you're gonna have to excuse
Put a little
my wife.
spice into life, you know.
How you doing, Angela?
I'm doing great.
It's a beautiful day.
Good. It is a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful morning. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today.
Yes, feeling pretty good.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling great. But I don't feel good when I feel like I'm having burnout.
That's what we're going to talk about, guys. That's what we're going to talk about, because that affects so many people.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Yes, so we're going to need to figure out what is it?
What is it?
How
what is it?
Can I overcome this?
So y'all know how we do. Find some information. Top 10 signs. Forbes.com.
Yes.
Has some information. Yes. Lisa M. Gary did some research on this. She also used some information from Dr. David Ballard. So,
Ballard.
Top 10 burnout. Top 10 signs you're burning out, man. What to do? What are we gonna do about it? So I guess you got to recognize some of the things. It does a lot have to do with mindset and lifestyle and balance and unbalance and all those things. But let's talk about what exactly is burnout. And Angela,
sure,
right there.
Start there.
Yeah.
Said a lot of burnout really has to do with experiencing chronic stress, says Dr. Ballard, who is the head of the APA's
Psychology Health Workplace Program.
Psychologically Healthy Workplace Program. In those situations, the demands being placed on you is see the resources you have available to deal with the stressors.
And if that shows up again, I'm going to say PHWP. That's what I'm going to say, because that's too much. That's too much.
It is a lot.
What else does it say there?
It says, left unchecked, burnout can wreak havoc on your health, happiness, relationships, and job performance. In order to catch burnout and combat it early, it's important to know what to look out for.
Yeah. So here's some top ones. Number one, probably is something that's obvious. So remember now, these are signs. And so when you hear these things, it's not like a one time, it's like something you're starting to see more. And so it's like, So number one is exhaustion. So it says a clear sign of burnout is when you feel tired all the time. Exhaustion can be emotional, mental, or I didn't really know this. This is something new. So when you're exhausted, no, you know what? Now I think about it. Yes, that's true. You can be exhausted, and not have ran a marathon. You could just be exhausted from looking at some computer or monitor all day.
Yeah.
You can get exhausted just from having to be on the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's a sense of not having any energy or being completely spent. And again, that can be emotionally, mentally, or physically, or all three.
And also, if you think about this, and we all were there, you know, whether you're working a job or not, you could be so drained mentally that it really affects your thinking. It affects everything. It's like, you can't, you get to a point where I know sometimes I'm like, man, I can't think straight.
Why am I tired?
I'm not going to be any good to nothing, to anybody, to anything. I need to rest. I need to calm my mental, my thinking. I need to, I feel so tired. You don't want to, it's just a whole like overall tiredness of your whole system. Whole body.
The way I look at it is like if your batteries are staying on low.
Yes.
So again, it's not just like, oh, I'm exhausted sometimes. But if it's like, man, I just feel like I'm always exhausted, it's like your batteries can't get going. You can't find the time to re-energize.
And also, it's like even when you're that kind of tired, especially the mental tired, you're like, why do I feel like this? You think something else is going on in your body, and that you need to go and get checked by the doctor. He's like, this doesn't seem right. It's not like I'm up running a half marathon or anything. I'm just, I'm either working or I'm just, you just feel drained. Like, why in the world do I feel drained all the time? You wake up tired. It's like, and that's not good.
Yeah,
It's not good.
I feel like these are all connected. So number 2 is, what's number 2?
Number 2 says lack of motivation. It says when you don't feel enthusiastic about anything anymore, or you no longer have that internal motivation for your work, there's a good chance you're experiencing burnout. Other ways this manifests: it may be harder to get going in the morning and more difficult to drag yourself into work every day.
Yeah, so everybody have different situations with that, but those two I think are connected. So if we let the exhaustion go long enough with the batteries just not getting up, that rejuvenation is not happening, then this can develop. I believe the lack of motivation.
Yeah, in fact, my lack of motivation, when that happens and I'm feeling burnt out, I have to give priority to things that have to be done. Like, okay, if I don't do this, then we're gonna be in trouble. Like, you have to give priorities to certain things when you are really drained and tired. So, like, some of my hobbies, I have to put to the back burner. Some things I like to do. And when you do that, if you think about it, when you put things back on the back burner that you really like to do, you're going to become unhappy, because you're not doing things that you want to do, that you're happy about doing. So it's like you're giving priority to really work and just really functioning and doing the necessities of the day. So it's kind of feel like, all I do is wake up, eat, work, sleep. I mean, you list the things that are important that you do, and then it becomes a cycle.
Right.
So, and when that happens, that's how it happens for me. Then, I'm sure there are things that can be done to help that. But that's, when you talk about that lack of motivation, how can you be motivated to get up in the morning? You know what your day is going to be like. You're just too tired to do anything else.
Yep. So that's that. And then this kind of connects to 3. It says frustration, cynicism. So number 3 is frustration, cynicism, and other negative emotions. And the description it tells us you may feel like what you're doing doesn't matter that much anymore. This is when you really get into your own head. Or you may be delusioned with everything. You might notice that you feel more generally pessimistic than you used to. That's, oh man. While everybody experiences some negative emotions from time to time, it's important to know that when these are becoming unusual for you. So again, now think about it. You got the exhaustion. You have make sure I say it right, the lack of motivation. Don't you believe that now you're going to get that cynicism, that frustration, that kind of warped thinking, start thinking negative about stuff, being more pessimistic, like that ain't going to happen. And what's going on? I bet you they doing this. I bet you they thinking that. All this stuff that's just going on in our head because we're not in a good place here. So I think they're all connected. I'm convinced.
I agree. And you talk about the negative emotion and frustration. I feel frustrated because I want to do more, but I'm just too tired.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Motivated. I want to do. Oh, where do I get the motivation from? And of all the things that you listen to, a lot of people listen to different podcasts, a lot of different audio things, and they see other people do the things, and it kind of try to help in motivation, but you're still frustrated because you're still tired.
Yes.
I'm just still burnt out. I'm tired.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's crazy. What's number 4 here?
Cognitive problems. Burnout and chronic stress may interfere with your ability to pay attention or concentrate. When you're I'm sorry. When we're stressed, our attention narrows to focus on the negative element that we perceive as a threat. And in short term, this helps us deal with the problem at hand. But Dr. Ballard says, but our bodies and brains are designed to handle this in short bursts and then return to normal functioning. And when the stress becomes chronic, this narrow focus continues for a long time, and we have difficulty paying attention to other things.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And because you got all this stuff crammed in there, you're already drained. And now it's hard to stay focused, to remember certain things. That's the cognitive problems that you could have. And again, it does connect. So when you see one of these signs, you better start looking for others or try to get out of it.
Yes. Yes. So important to do that, everybody. So important.
What is that? Said the fight or flight tunnel vision. What is that talking about?
It said this fight or flight tunnel vision can negatively affect your ability to solve problems or make decisions. That is so true. You might find that you're more forgetful and have a harder time remembering things.
Ah.
All right. Just when you think that that you're getting old, or oh man, is this Alzheimer's setting a little early for me?
Right.
You forgetting stuff that could be burnout.
Right.
Listen, you could be suffering from burnout. You know, it's not because you're getting older. You are burnt out.
Right.
You're tired. You're frustrated.
That's crazy. Okay, so 6 says interpersonal problems at home and at work.
Yes.
So it says this tends to play out in one or two ways. A, you're having more conflicts with other people, such as getting into arguments, or B, you're withdrawn, talking to your withdraw talking to your coworkers and family members less. And then you might find that even when you're physically there, you're tuned out. You're not tuned in. You're having problems staying focused on conversations, or don't feel like really speaking that much, or you may be the opposite and want to just go after people.
And also too, you just feel like you got so much going on. Okay, I can only handle so much, you know?
Yeah, man, you burnt out.
All right, the next one is not taking care of yourself. When suffering from burnout, some people engage in unhealthy coping strategy like drinking too much, smoking, being too sedentary, eating too much junk food, not eating enough, or not getting enough sleep. Self-medication is another issue and could include relying on sleeping pills to sleep, drinking more alcohol at the end of the day to de-stress, or even drinking more coffee to sum up the energy to drag yourself into work in the morning. Yep. So where are you going to draw this energy from? Those are things that people, and that's part of, it says not taking care of yourself. That falls under that window. So you got to take care of yourself. If I can say it right, you have to take care of yourself, everybody.
Yeah. So you can actually do things to create that sluggish kind of thing. And then because you haven't found out to get that rejuvenation, you can't go into this burnout phase.
Yeah.
You're not even know it happened. So this one is more subtle right here. That one,
it's like you want a quick fix for it.
Yeah.
You know?
8 is being preoccupied with work when you're not at work. So how does that work? Well, how it goes into the detail and says, so even though you may not be working at a given moment, you are expending mental energy mulling over your job. Then your work is interfering with your ability to recover from the stresses of your day. So in order to recover, you need time to yourself after the actual task stops and time when you stop thinking about the task. So yeah, that can again, these things are all connected. So if you thinking about work at work, it can not only affect your mentally, your own self, it can affect others around you. That's one. Then it's hard for you to get sleep, get rest. And on top of that, because you're always mulling over everything over work, you stress out.
Yeah. Also to add to that, when you're sleeping, your dream let's say if your dream is about you being at work and you wake up, no, oh man, I completed a day at work in my dreams.
Wow.
And you wake up frustrated,
Man.
disappointed. That's happened to me a couple of times. I had a whole day at work in my dreams, and I wake up. I'm like, wait a minute, I was
Time for
asleep.
work.
Time for work.
Gotta get up after work and go to
So
work.
it's like a 24-hour day at
Yeah.
work because mentally you already completed. I mean, and you remember it.
Yep.
I remember my
That's happened a
day
few
at
times
work
to me.
in my
But
dreams.
that's been happening. Let me ask you this, because that happens at work, and I remember sometimes. But what about even back day at school?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
Oh, so you completing days of labor, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You could
It's
you
like
could
you had
be
a double day.
You could be at home just cleaning up and taking care of your kids, going through a day of your dreams,
Double dose.
and then you up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that
And
has,
how
that
can you
has
rest? Like,
happened.
you don't feel rested. You don't, because you've thought about this. You know, mentally you're burnt out, and then now you got to repeat today.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what does number 9 say?
Generally, decreased satisfaction. This is the tendency to feel less happy and satisfied with either your career or your home life. You might feel dissatisfied or even stuck when it comes to whatever is going on at home, in the community, or with your social activities, Dr. Ballard says.
Yeah.
I relate that also. Let's say that actually ties into comparing your life to other people's life, and that could, you can be that way on social media. You think people having fun, they go on vacation a lot, when a lot of that is not real per se. They're putting on,
It's in our
but
heads.
that could make you feel dissatisfied. Oh, now you got to go to work. Oh, now I have to work this harder.
While they drinking my ties, I'm going to work.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
So I see how that can be tied in with other things that could go on.
Yeah, so I think that's something we have to be careful of. I think it's connected to what I was talking to you before we started the segment about overthinking stuff. So we can start getting into these funks where our brain just start taking us to like everybody on the planet is doing stuff better than us, more than us, they're happier than us and all that.
They're a little better than us.
Yeah, which takes us deeper into our burnout. Right. They healthy and look amazing.
Unhealthy. I got issues.
They're sharp. They smart. They can focus. I can't do nothing. I can't even think straight. And it's really more of, because people are going to have those moments of tiredness, those moments of burnout. But think about it. Why don't we, okay, man, let me start getting a little bit more rest. Okay, man, let me start doing things to help my rejuvenate my mind, get more vitamin D, get outside, get to walk, do the power of the walk. And me and Angela talk about it all the time. I think we need to write a book about that, the power of the walk. Anyway, but yeah, those things can literally instantly take you out of those burnouts and those funks. And also have a conversation with a friend, a mate, or somebody that you're comfortable with. Just kind of start helping you get some of this off your mind and your chest, and then they can start helping you thinking through a game plan to change some of these top 10 habits that you have.
Exactly.
And then finally, the last one is health problems overall. Sometimes people can have a lot of health issues, chronic issues. Chronic stress can cause any kind. Again, all this stuff can get connected. Think about it. If you do have some kind of health issue, you're stressing over the health issue. It could be resolved. It is a high percentage that whatever that issue is can be resolved. But because we stress so much, sometimes it can make it more difficult to resolve or not even get resolved. So how we think, what we do, how we exercise, how we take care of our bodies and our minds can help us get out of that general health problem that we may be fighting, even if it doesn't go away.
Yeah, and that could be mentally taxing too.
Yeah.
And when you talk about health problems, not only your health problems, but you could be a caregiver. A caregiver definitely could suffer from burnout a lot. So they're responsible not only for themselves, but for other people, so that could be mentally draining. So
Because they got their problems and your problems.
yeah, and depending on what the other people's problems are, some can be way more overtaxing than others.
And some I don't know how I give you. So one time, a long time ago, I was working on this. Is when I used to have a job where I was working all on a high. I thought I told you about this a long time ago.
Okay.
And some lady down below us called, say, "Hey, could you come help me?" It was a nurse. Could you help?
Yeah.
She was like one of those home nurses because it was right in the residential area. So I came down. I said, "Okay, yeah, I should try to help." So I come down, make sure my stuff is secure, and I go across the street and go inside, and she is having to move a care person she's taking care of from one place to the other. And I was like, "Okay, sure." So I'm helping her, and I almost broke my back because the person that we had to move, I hate to use this term, but it was literally like dead weight. They didn't use, some people like when you try to help them, they at least try to use their leg, use something to help.
Yeah.
This person
Couldn't.
And so I imagine, like, man, what if I wasn't here and this nurse
Yeah.
having to do that?
Yeah.
Because they got to get it done.
Yeah.
I don't know how they was, because I'm a pretty fit guy now, and I was even younger and more physically, and I thought, man, that was the most strenuous moment of my day right there.
Yeah.
And I lift ladders and move stuff up and down and have to work up and down and all in the sky and all that stuff.
To that, yeah.
Nothing compared to that. And I said, man, these caregivers have to do stuff like this all the time. More power to them. And I can see how that can mentally affect them.
Oh, yeah. Also, you got to think, too, that let's say if you're caring for more than one person, you got multiple people you're caring for, and you work. I mean, and you also worry for them because you want them to be okay, regarding, whatever health problems that they have. So, and a lot of time the caregivers, they don't, think about, are they taking care of themselves? They're suffering from burnout, but they putting other people first. So I salute. I shouldn't say salute.
It can be caretakers, but even teachers.
I really.
We know what you mean.
Yeah. You think about what they have to go through.
Yeah.
That they have to take care of people, but also they're not taking care of themselves. Or some people, they have to because, people are dependent on them. They need the energy, So, yeah.
So I would say caretakers, but I was thinking about other occupations too. You got teachers.
Yeah.
They can get all stress. Policemen, people that have to do firefighters, people that have to, like, I was looking remember the biggest catch? Those are people that have to go out and catch the crab and the shrimp and some of the craziest seas. Those are dangerous and stressful jobs. People that have to be on phones, listening to people that complain about stuff. So there's all kind of jobs. I mean, I'm sure there's other. I'm sure somebody say, "What about my job?" There's tons of jobs where that happens. I've had jobs like that. Angela has jobs like that. It can happen at any moment. I mean, people think there's really no perfect job.
Yeah, you get off a job. Think about a person that has to work secularly, but also when they come home, that's another job because you got to care for your family as well.
Especially if you have young kids, babies. And you may have a crazy mate. You have all kinds of stuff.
So all of those
things are called burnout.
So yeah, you're gonna suffer burnout for that. But you got to think about this. One of the things you must think about is when you're suffering from burnout, there are different types of stresses that cause different issues, health related issues, over time will cause you to not be able to perform or to have the energy, or your health could deteriorate from you not taking care of yourself. So it's so important when you delegate sometimes these the things that you have to do, when you have the help that you need, have some help. Also, when you're just taking care of yourself, you're like, you know what, I need a break. If you're a caregiver, can someone come in and fill in for you for about an hour or so for you to, get your, kind of rejuvenate or do something, to kind of get your energy back. It's so important for you to make sure that you are practicing self-care and making sure you get enough rest.
Yeah,
You know.
you definitely gotta watch out for yourself first. There's nothing wrong with that, to checking on yourself, because no one else has got it. Some people may be very what's the word I want to use? Very like observant, where they can say, oh, you need to, before you can see it. Some people are like that, but really the person that knows you is you.
That's true.
So sometimes you gotta like tell, people that love you and understand, say, I gotta take a chill pill on this, and do it. And then people love you, care about you. They say, okay, yeah. Like Angela said, I say I'll go around, I would leave her, let her chill, tell everybody, hey, Angela's trying to chill, don't call it, be quiet or whatever, because sometimes people do need that little bit of peace or time so they can kind of rejuvenate, get those batteries back up, as we were talking about in the beginning.
Yeah, I feel that once
get that energy back flowing.
Once I get to where I know that I'm no good to nobody, I take a break. Because I definitely need it. And over time, I can tell you, over the years.
But it is hard for you to cut your brain off sometime, and I have to tell you, listen, you gotta chill out, because your brain is always hard working and always on high. But anyway, over the years,
I look at pictures back from even 10 years back or more. I didn't have any dark circle under my eyes. These started happening when my sleep pattern was broken up from the fact that I had to work a different shift, different hours.
Yeah.
When that started, those hours started like in the wee hours. Excuse me, what did you say?
No, I was saying the circles.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, I was having to get up around 3:00 in the morning. Well, actually 1:00 in the morning, because I had to go to work from 3:00 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. That messed me up. That made the circles, and that messed my sleep pattern up. And then I did that for years, but still, it's like I'm still suffering from that sleep pattern. I'm still suffering from that, even though I don't have that shift anymore. I have a pretty good shift. But the thing is that I can see under the dark circle under my eyes. I don't get enough rest.
Right.
So I know that. So I'm working on that. I'm working on my sleep, because sleep is very, very, very important. Your body need rest. And if it's not getting it, it is going to suffer.
Right.
So, anytime I'm able to get my sleep in, get it, sometimes you have to take a nap.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
Do the right thing, because this is coming from Angela Graves for the spice. Oh.
And also come from Christopher Graves. The spice.
La 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 life. Yeah.
On that note, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day, week. Bye-bye.